What's up, team? Let's get started. I watched Hondo Carpenter today, and he had Tom Walsh on his show, and this guy knows offense, knows a whole lot about offense, a lot more than I do. And watching and listening to what he was thinking about when it comes down how we're going to use our tight end set, my goodness. I know football. Like I said in the earlier short, I'm sure you guys know football well. But man, there's just another level that I guess basically wasn't aware of as far as the offense can be planned when it comes down to this 12 set with two tight ends and one running back. I tried to explain a play when I brought this up the first time. And explaining that play was a pretty simple play. And I got confused trying to explain the play. And I'm sure I didn't explain it well enough. And you probably couldn't understand exactly the concept I was trying to portray because it was difficult. And that was a simple play compared to what they got going on over there. Simple, very simple. He coming up with concepts that have 4 plays called before they get to the line of scrimmage and audible out of them without anybody speaking to each other, just based on the defensive lineup. And if you watch it, you'll understand it a lot more because what I'm saying probably doesn't make sense. It barely makes sense to me and I'm speaking on it. But what is exciting is, my gosh, the offense can be really complex and we have the personnel to make so many mismatches that it's going to be incredible. If they do their research and if they truly look into how well a two tight end set can work and Gatsky can put something together with it, if he can understand the concepts that Tom Walsh was talking about, by the way, that's the name of the guest that was on the show. If he can understand the concepts and implement those concepts that he was talking about, we're going to be freaking unstoppable. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch because the important thing about being in that concept is timing. That's the thing. You got to get the ball out at the right time because you need to distribute the ball. You need to make sure everyone gets the ball. See, that's the thing about this offense. We're worried about how to get the ball to certain players or if Devontae's going to get enough. He'll get enough because he's Devontae. But everybody has to get some. And everybody's going to get some with the way this offense is going to be set up. And it's going to be so complex. The offense is going to offer so many different looks that the other team's defense is not going to be able to be as aggressive as they want to be. If you got a linebacker that's trying to hold back Brock Bowers, he's just going to shoot down the field and take the top off. So the other team has to find a way to make the defense control our offense. And they can't make a difficult defense while they're doing that. They can't do a lot of tricky blitzes when we have 6 people on the field that can catch the ball and do something with it. So they have to respect every person on that field. They have to respect our offense all over the field. And it might lead to a lot of zone defenses coming up on us. And if we get to go out there in a zone defense with all those players, I guarantee with enough time, which is just a reasonable amount of time. You don't have to have, Bo Nix at Oregon time, but just a reasonable amount of time to get that ball out there. We're golden because we've seen Aiden do it before. When we improved last year, it's because Aiden was able to distribute the ball. When we improved last year, what no one wants to think about, is the reason we thought Michael Mayer would be something because of what he did while Aiden was in there. Until Aiden got in there we thought Trey Tucker was a bust. And we were like, oh my God, we traded up. We basically traded Darren Waller for this guy. Now it's looking like, ooh, he's part of our top 3 receivers, which is one of the best in the whole daggone league. And we're just getting started. So the way everything is going to work out, it's simple. They can't stop us. They have to stay in the zone. They have to try to stop everybody, and they just won't be able to. So the next part about that is now with an offense that complex, they have to make sure everyone gets the ball. And what they were talking about by making sure everybody gets the ball is basically scripted plays. Like we talk about with Josh McDaniels. He did the scripted play thing. And it was always successful, actually. We always scored early. Whether it was the first or second drive, we always scored early last game, or last season, and the season before that. But after the script was done, he couldn't do anything outside of that. And what we're going to do, what we need to do, according to Tom Walsh, is start out with a script. We have to start out making sure each player gets their chance at the ball. Because we got to make them commit to each player. We have to make them show, yeah, we're willing to go here, there, or there, and we're willing to bring in Trey Tucker for our third wide receivers to go over the top of y'all if you don't pay us attention doing that too. So what we have to do is make sure that everybody on the defense is aware that all of our offensive players are in play. And to do that, you have to follow the script. Following the script means playing with anticipation. Like I spoke of yesterday, listening to him, he brought up basically the same point. You have to play with anticipation. You have to be aware of what everybody's supposed to do, when everybody's supposed to be there, because the script is important. These players have to get the ball at the right time on the right routes, because other team needs to see what we're doing so we can change it up during the game. So what we need is somebody who's going to operate within the system and make that system work to execute. And that's why we have Aiden O'Connell. That's why we are happy to have Aiden O'Connell. That's why we're able to build the offense the way we're going to be able to build the offense. Because he's going to be able to sit there and make plays. He'll be in a more comfortable pocket. He'll be able to move a little bit better. I'm sure they're working on all kinds of things with that. So we'll be multifaceted. He'll have option after option after option. And the other team is just going to crumble under the weight. There's really nothing they can do. And that's why Aiden's going to work with that. We don't need a Gardner Minshew. He's good as a quarterback because he can create, because he has a football IQ, he has great quarterback mechanics, and he's accurate. But, like I always say, the only thing you can't teach is for someone to think faster. And after all the confusing stuff that I just had to go through to listen to that guy today on how complex an offense can be, just going through a couple of minutes, it was more than 20, 25 minutes, but it was just info after info. Once you get all that info and you see how all these things are so important, especially when it comes down to the script, you realize how important execution is. And playing aggressive does not mean execution. And if we use Gardner Minshew, we're losing execution. So are we going to give up execution and quick thinking for Gardner Minshaw's ability to create. That's not the way the team is going to work. That's not the way that they want to take the offense. We don't want an offense that's too dynamic, because you don't want to come on the field, throw a 50-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill and score in a minute and a half, and then get your defense right back out there. We don't want to do that for our defense. We want to get in, control the ball, let them rest, get back in the game, beat up on the offense, see if we can get better field position, and play a game of field position with our defense. A quarterback that's too dynamic and too unpredictable is going to throw a wrench in those works, which is, anybody can say whatever they're saying, and the Raiders can say whatever they're saying, and anybody can dog me on this saying, but I'm going to say this, and I truly believe this. The Raiders were never going to draft a quarterback. They were never going to get Jaden Daniels, no matter what. Even if this deal sounded like it was an acceptable deal, because they were never going to make that deal. And this is the reason why. People can say that I'm over confident in Aiden O'Connell, but this is the reason why. Aiden O'Connell is going to have to learn this offense, right? Aiden O'Connell already has the rapport with the offensive player to a certain extent, but he's going to build upon that rapport, right? And with this offense, we're talking about a pretty complex offense where you got to react and be a quarterback who's going to be there and stay in the pocket and stick to the script. We cannot have Jaden Daniels on our team and stick to the script. I believe there's never a real option. I feel like that no one up there except maybe Drake May was an option because of the way they wanted to set up this offense. And they wanted to do this before they got Brock Bowers. That's why I believe we went out and got some tight ends early in off season, because they were getting ready for this. And then they saw Brock Bowers fall into their lap, and they were like, we've been getting ready for this the whole time, and we get the best daggone tight end in the damn draft to help us do it? Disco. That's not the type of quarterback that Jaden Daniels is. That would handicap the offense, because we would have to make our offense account for the fact that he can run the ball. So the fact that him running the ball is part of his game, it still makes an extremely dynamic offense, and it makes it hard to control the game. With this type of game, when you're scripted out and you have your plays and you have your quarterback who knows, if we run this play, we're going to get 5 yards for it. Not, if we run this play, we might get 5, we might get 15 or 55. We're not really sure, but we know we have the ability to break any play because they play so aggressively. Now, that doesn't mean we won't have any good plays or long plays. It's supposed to get 5 yards, but then Brock turns up and he takes it long, But it's in the script. And that's what we needed. And I really believe that having Jaden Daniels as the quarterback wasn't something that they wanted to look into realistically, but they definitely had to let everybody believe that they were, because that's the reason the draft fell the way it did. And that's the reason we got Brock Bowers, because nobody knows what the Raiders are doing, and everybody's trying to prepare for it. And there's really no way they can prepare for it, because they're disrespecting the team. They're disrespecting all that we can do. They're playing us for the underdogs. So once we hit them, they're not going to be ready for it. They just not. This team is going to be set. This franchise is going to be set. We have got the tool for a great franchise. And it's AP. And I'm not saying that just because, what we have and what we've seen and, how happy everybody is with it as a coach as far as the fan base goes. What Tom Walsh was talking about is how you build up a franchise over time. How people become comfortable with each other. How a family comes together and they start working together. And not just on the field, but inside the office too. Everybody knows each other, coming together for a focus. And that takes time to build. But that's how you gain a strong team. And that makes complete sense. But what we've done here, what Antonio Pierce has done here is he ain't made all that happen like that. The whole team was on team. The whole office building was on team. People that was here before him on team. People that he brought in on team. Everybody is focused. They have a goal. They're fired up by Antonio Pierce. They believe what he's saying, and they're going to fight towards what he's saying because they believe that's going to get everybody to their end goal, which is the Super Bowl. And I have absolutely no doubt that that's coming sometime in the future. I don't know if it's 3 years from now, 5 or 6 years from now. But the NFL is going to see the Raiders in the Super Bowl within the next 5 to 6 years. And it's going to be Antonio Pierce that takes us there. And that's when people are going to start understanding, or people will start talking about a Hall of Fame coach. I believe Antonio Pierce is going to be a Hall of Fame head coach. I'm saying it right now before his whole first full season. Why? Because of what I already explained to you. Having everybody buy in like that on the instant. He said, I'm here, if you here, we here, and let's do it. And everybody was like, forget it, I'm here. I'm not leaving once he told me that. So everybody's on team. Everybody's working for the goal. Everybody has made AP has made our franchise into an instant family. And everybody wants to come here. And everybody who is here wants to stay here. And it's only going to increase from here. We got a great future coming on to us. We got a lot of young players. We got young players in key roles. We got AP as a great coach. We got Patrick Graham doing our defense and making it happen. And I believe, like I said, if we keep his money right and we keep going forward, he's going to stay because he wants to be part of it too. Everybody else's big question mark is Aiden O'Connell. That's not my question mark. I'm not worried about it. But the second question mark that everybody has is Luke Getsy. And what he's done in Chicago as far as his body of work and the success that he had running a 12 offense that we are damn near guaranteed to succeed. I mean, I don't want to sound too confident because I don't want to sound like I'm just a fan overly hyping the situation. I really, really believe that these things can come together. I really believe that it's possible for Getsy to be able to use all these weapons. I honestly believe that Aiden O'Connell is going to be able to take care of it. And I believe we're going to have a great season. And it's time to get your popcorn ready, man. It's going to be fun. Us Aiden defenders out there are going to have a great time because the bandwagon is already starting to get a little heavy. The bandwagon is already starting to get a little heavy because everybody's coming down off that BS and okay, let's start focusing. Let's look again at where we are. Okay, let's stop. Just get our dream well, wake up. Let's stop dissing the Aiden for the diss of it just because we want to throw everything we got into Jaden Daniels. Let's look at what we have here. And they're looking at the fact that he had been improving game after game after game after game. People are finally start to notice the fact that 3-1 is not a bad record for the last 4 games of the season. Oh yeah, you know what? I guess 8 touchdowns and no interception is something that you can work with. Oh yeah, I guess 200 and something yard game average is not all that bad when you consider his touchdown to interception ratio was just about 2-1. But nobody wanted to consider that before all the drama was coming down. So now they're considering it, and pretty soon there'll be more people saying Aiden is the man on the bandwagon that we already got our comfortable seats on. The only people who aren't rooting for Aiden are the people who are praying that they can still be right. One, Mitchell Rantz, and those of his same frame of mind who just wanted to murder Aiden O'Connell because it was the low-hanging fruit. All he had to do was talk as bad as he could about Aiden O'Connell, and since he was the 4th-round rookie, there's no way he can do anything to make himself be a starter. So he ran his whole campaign on that shit, and it's all about to fall apart because the presser, he already said, Aiden got the keys. You got to take the keys from him. And with offense that's going to be this complex, you're going to want a genius to run it. And I'm not dogging Gardner Minshew, but it wasn't his genius that got him here. It was his football IQ. And he running plays because his football IQ is so high, he can make the plays work. He can make something out of his mistakes. But that's not what we need here. We need 0 mistakes. We need accuracy. We don't need creation. We need you to stick to the script. That's the street we going down. And it's gonna be a great street. It's not gonna be bumpy as people think it's gonna be. And it's gonna be smooth ride on the bandwagon. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed it. If not, try harder next time. Guru out.